Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I'm Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. I am currently at GDC and holy crap, do I have a lot of VR stuff to talk about, so let's get into it.
Because I've spoken to tons of different devs, checked out lots of new upcoming games, some hardware, and there's stories like, hey, the Valve Deckard is real, most developers are frustrated with meta right now, and we're definitely experiencing an industry shift. Now there are of course links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but let's start things off with that general dissatisfaction coming from the developers. So I've been hanging out with plenty of developers from games like Richie's Playing Experience, Ancient Dungeon, Windlands, Ghost of Tabor, Underdogs, and at least 10 to 20 more. Overall, the general opinion when it comes to meta is a bit of frustration, mostly at the broken storefront. A lot of games have lost visibility in the last few months, leading to declined sales, so as you can expect, developers are frustrated. There's also not a lot of money coming from meta these days. It's all going towards Horizon Worlds, AR projects, or wearable devices. So it looks like 2025 might be a little bit of a dry year, but there is a silver lining here that I will discuss later in this video. But just to reiterate that general frustration that I'm coming across, the only developer out of everyone I spoke to that was happy with their current sales and how things are going was for the game Shaven Stuff. When I mentioned meta to basically anyone else, there was a little bit of an eye roll or sigh. So that's definitely not what we want to see. I will say though, there is still a ton of passion in this industry. These developers are absolutely amazing. They love the projects they are working on, and they are pushing as hard as possible, pushing bounds, trying to work into new avenues and just produce great games. So if you love VR, now is the time to push your support, guys. But it definitely wasn't all bad news, because some of the developers have very interesting projects on the way, one of which is a game that I've seen people ask for time and time. We need this game in VR. I can't name it right now. No, it's not GTA. It's an older world-building style of game that so many people said would work amazingly well in VR, and it's coming. Additionally, I got an exclusive look at the 5 new levels coming to Vendetta Forever, and they are even better than what's already out there. I met up with the solo developer for Meet Interactive. He handed over his quest, and I jumped right in. The levels are really cool, unique. They take you from space to a submarine and many other surprises. So if you haven't tried Vendetta Forever, I highly recommend you go check it out. It is a great game and just did not get the credit that it deserves. I also demoed another co-op shooter called Exoshock that I am absolutely pumped for. Now the demo they were previewing was very early and there wasn't much to it, but the premise of this title and where they're drawing inspiration from is fantastic. I also love the art style. They're trying to emulate things like a little bit of Dead Space, but the action of Helldivers with strategic co-op, really impactful weapons. When you're shooting guys, like the whole room shakes, it feels really good. But they also have a very aggressive timetable that I'm concerned about. I really hope they can pull it off because this game looks excellent. And another title that they're pulling influence from that got me excited is From Other Suns. That's what they're aiming for. It looks like it could be really cool. I definitely need to see more on this one. I also got a nice little preview of the upcoming game, Titan Isles, but unfortunately I'm not allowed to talk about it too much. They were going on and on about how it's an early build, but I will say it looks ridiculously polished. Overall, I'm extremely excited for this one. This is another co-op shooter from the same studio that gave us Windlands, and damn am I pumped after playing this demo. Like I said, wish I could say more, but go ahead and wishlist it now. Go check it out when it comes out. If you liked Windlands, if you like action games, strategic combat, you like a challenge, I think this will be the game for you. I also got to meet up with Flat the VR Studios, and they gave me a demo of RoboQuest, which once again is another title that's looking awesome. The graphics are fantastic on this one. They did a great job converting it from flat to VR. Controls feel great. Again, I was playing an early build that's not 100% ready. Had a few graphical anomalies. That's why I'm not showing off too much of it. They're like, hey, hide those graphical anomalies. We promise we'll fix them. And I know they will. But honestly, they were minor things. And just the developers are like, picky and scared of showing off a non-finished product. they shouldn't be. This is going to be another great game, super fast-paced, roguelike shooter. I knew a lot of people who played it on flat screen and loved it, and I think the VR community is going to eat this game up. It's solid, guys. And I also pressed them for information on other upcoming titles, which they said there's a lot more games to be announced, but they won't tell me what. So we'll see what happens later in the year. Now, I also mentioned that there was a silver lining, or at least some good news when it comes to meta changes. I know right now we're seeing like Horizon stuff on the storefront. We're having trouble finding games when we search for them. It's very frustrating for gamers and developers alike. However, yes, Meta is pushing Horizon, but I've also heard some stories that it looks like other things might be changing too. That there will be more emphasis, or at least some restructuring for the whole gaming division of Meta. So they're not going to abandon it. They're going to fix the storefront. They're going to think more long-term and not just be ready to abandon the gamers, the 20 million people that they built up over time that love VR. No. They're going to just work with the developers, make things better for developers, consumers alike, and think about the long-term picture of VR gaming. So that's pretty much the best news. Now, that was currently in rumor leak sort of territory and in its infancy sort of state. So who knows if that's going to come, but I really hope we see those changes, because man, oh man, I love VR, and what's going on right now with the storefront and how developers feel is just not cool. But let's get to the final story, the one you guys really want to hear about, which is the Valve Deckard. I know you guys want to say, hey, I know you guys would love to hear me say, hey, I played the Valve Deckard, I got it, here are the specs, it's amazing. But I can't, because that didn't happen. But I can say, it's real. It's coming. And I would expect to hear an announcement of this headset within the next 3 months, and a launch date later in the year. It's definitely true. I can say leaks, rumors, all that. We knew it was coming, but it's one thing for a lot of people in the industry to be posting videos and saying this is a leak and this is our expectations. It's another to, kind of overhear some conversations on people saying, yeah, no, this thing exists. Valve's gonna do it. So that was today's video, guys. I am absolutely pumped. I can't wait for Valve to drop that information. I feel for the devs. Like I said, support them, guys. If you enjoyed today's video, I know it was a little bit different than normal, but if you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I hope it sounds good. Like I said, I'm recording this live on the floor at GDC. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, I will see you guys on next time.